Hey, shuckalugga kapow! How's it going, old schoolers? You're kicking it old school, Russell J.S., and I'm your host, Russell J.S. I am going to go ahead and do the next part of Vacation Time. This is Vacation Time 2004. Now, us tail end Gen Xers going into the first end of the millennials, we're a little older now. I mean, some of us have already graduated high school, probably some of us graduated college. It's 2000 to 2004. And you know what? Some of us still had the yearning to go on road trips at that time. I mean, you think about the time that happened. I mean, some of it was kind of scarce to do so because you had the September 11th attacks of 2001. And, it was a crazy time. But you know what? We didn't allow that terrorist attack to go ahead and take us down. We went on with our lives, but we united one as a nation. And I'm sure, not me in general, because I was working a lot, but I would have loved, except maybe for 2004, which I did go to Disney World with my ex-fiance for Valentine's Day. It was her first time ever going. So I treated her to that for Valentine's Day. But if I'm going on a road trip, say by myself at that time, or I'm with my buddies, I want to show you the carry-on items I am putting in a backpack for the trip. And, these are items, that could be used. I mean, sure, nowadays, some of the things we don't need today, but we use them anyway. Hold on, I forgot one more thing before I do this video. And I'm back. I mean, a few of the items that I'm going to bring from, that were from the previous decade, because technology has evolved in carrying things portable for us to take to occupy us on long trips. And, the way we watch movies, the way, listen to music, we still had CD players. I mean, by now, anybody had a car by this point that had a CD player in it along with a cassette deck. I mean, it used to be that they put that in luxury cars. Same thing with TVs and, players and things, video players and things like that. Let me take a swig. It's really hot out today here in South Florida. But, there were some items that had come about that we were able to use now thanks to technology evolving. I mean, in the 1990s, the DVD player had come out. That was a rich people toy as usual, just like the VCR before it. It was like movies on disc. We already had a CD player. Everybody had a CD player at that point. But, by the 2000s, they made DVD players to be affordable for just the working class folks. I had to make payments. I had to finance my parents' first DVD player that I got them for their wedding anniversary. But I made the payments. I added to my credit, and my father was happier than a kid at Christmas time. So without further ado, and also if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit a like, subscribe, leave comments in the box down below, ring the bell for notifications for future videos. And without further ado, let's see what bad Oscars I would take around this time on a road trip, whether it's by myself or with friends, shall we? First thing, portable electronic gaming. They were kind of slowing down, but they did make few, all depended on what they were doing for it, like if it was movie franchises or something. So the only two I'd probably bring would be this Spider-Man-based handheld game from MGA, Micro Games of America, which it's the scene where Spider-Man is wrestling Bonesaw and Green Goblin is somewhere in it. It makes me laugh because, Bonesaw is played by Macho Man Randy Savage. So just imagine Macho Man Randy Savage pixelated like he's stuck in a calculator. I can see it. Hey, get me out of here. I need to snap into a Slim Jim. So this one and Star Wars Episode 1, Jedi Hunt. What's really cool about this handheld from Tiger is you see where it says Star Wars, it's a little case, a little carrying case, where it comes with two figurines, one of Qui-Gon Jinn and the other of Darth Maul. And what's really cool is you could put either one on the D-pad like that, and you have a little joystick, while you're playing. But I'm not going to, I'm going to be good with the value of this because I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a handheld electronic LCD game. So these two will go in the front compartment right here. And of course, I'm bringing a portable CD player with me to listen to music on the way if I'm not driving or I'm just chilling at the hotel room by myself or out by the pool. I get to listen to some music, but make sure you have extra batteries because if you remember, these things back in the day were complete hogs when it came to batteries. So I'm going to put that in here. And the music selection I'm bringing, some for the time and what other older artists had to offer for that time as well. Some newer stuff and some older artists that released new stuff. First, I had to borrow these two from the library. I got Santana Supernatural and what was this other album called? Wait, this is Supernatural and then Shaman. So a little bit of Santana for a good road trip will never hurt anyone. Also, let me zip this up here. Also, like I said, not too heavy on the hard rock, but like I said again, I'm also bringing what older artists had to offer. So I'm bringing AC/DC Stiff Upper Lip, Blue Oyster Cult, Curse of the Hidden Mirror. Both these are really great listens. You got to go ahead and listen to these. They're really, great listens to hear. And I kind of warmed up at the time because when they first came out, it wasn't cool. You might get beat up by your buddies. So I got their greatest hits album. I did warm up later on in the 2000s to Creed. And I also finally warmed up to the Foo Fighters because even though it was Dave Grohl from Nirvana, his post-Nirvana band, I liked a few songs, but, they just started to grow on me by the end of the 2000s. Also, Nickelback Silver Side Up and Puddle of Mud, Come Clean. So, kind of mix it off. And of course, I'd like to go ahead, maybe have some reading material on this trip. So, bring a book. And also, as I said, technology had taken off. DVD players had come out by the mid-1990s. I'm bringing a portable DVD player with me. Now, I'm not going to bring any of the movies that were new for the time. Instead, I want to go ahead just to celebrate that I could watch movies on the go in my car. I'm going to go ahead and at this time, I'd bring classics with me that were based around going on road trips. So what am I going to bring as far as classics go on DVD? Easy Rider. If you've never seen this, pick this bad Oscar up or stream it, whatever you can to get it. Starring Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper. And also, this is the movie that made Jack Nicholson into a big star. See, look, there's Jack right there. Look how young he was. Look how handsome he was and thin he was. Look, he almost had a full head of hair, too. This is from 1969. And of course, Smokey and the Bandit, the Pursuit Pack trilogy. So I got 3 movies to go ahead and boot right here. How can you not enjoy a road trip to watch movies and not have Smokey and the Bandit? Also, the Blues Brothers, which I think, even though they were just driving around Illinois, Chicago and Illinois to get their band back together, still, they were road tripping. They did drive 106 miles to and from Chicago. Full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It was dark and they were wearing sunglasses. Hit it. Just to go ahead and save the orphanage on their mission from God. And of course, last but not least, I got the double feature comedy pack of the first 2 National Lampoon Vacation movies, but we're not going to pay attention to European Vacation, but the original Vacation. This is the movie that set the standard, that showed us how parents could relate to bringing their family on a cross-country vacation to spend time together. Now, it doesn't matter where we're going to go, whether it's going to be Disney World and Universal. I mean, for me to go to Disney World, where I live in Cape Coral, see, and here we are. Look at this. I'm bringing less this time. I think it's best because I got carried away. I did get carried away 2 years ago when I took that trip to Orlando. I brought a lot of excess stuff that I didn't need. But, for me to make a trip from here to Orlando to go to, say, the Disney parks and the Universal parks, SeaWorld, or I go to, say, Tampa to Busch Gardens and Adventure Island, it's only going to take me about, roughly 2.5, maybe 3 hours tops to get to either place. And, for me to, or if I was going to take a trip up to Atlanta to go do Six Flags, it's going to take me probably almost a whole day for me to get to Atlanta, Georgia from here. We're looking at a really good 8 hour, 6 to 8 hour, give or take trip, depending on traffic and everything, which of course, I'm going to go ahead and take I-75. But it doesn't matter what our road trips are going to be. You always have to have this kind of stuff. That way you can, have some occupancy, like, maybe stop at a rest area during lunchtime, stop somewhere to get, a drive-through like McDonald's or Burger King to pick up some lunch. And if it's right there by a rest area off the interstate, take it over the interstate, eat it, enjoy your lunch, read a book, play a handheld game, or take a walk, plain and simple. And you'll be safe. Depending on where you're at, you'll be safe considering those places are patrolled by the cops. But yeah, that's pretty much for 2000 to 2004 stuff I'm going to bring. And, pretty soon I'll get ready for summertime 2005 to 2009. So get ready for that. And this is all the time I have for this video. Remember, I want to remind you to keep kicking it old school, keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it chill. Listen to old school music, play old school video games, watch old school TV shows and movies. Keep kicking it old school. Get you enough of love, get you enough of peace, get you enough of tranquility, get you enough of less drama, no drama, less chaos, no chaos. Just get you enough of what you can get you enough. And as always, I want to wish you all Godspeed. May the force be with you always. Oh, and before I close out, I would like to go ahead and take this time, wish all the Kickin' It old school moms out there a happy Mother's Day. And old schoolers, be sure to wish your mothers a happy Mother's Day as well. But I wish happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And remember, Godspeed. May the force be with you always. And shakalaka kapow!